Welcome to Houston Real Estate Radio. I'm your host, Shanna Register, and every week we bring you news and information you can use on your next real estate transaction. Today we've got Dr. Jim Gaines Skyping in. You've heard him before here on the station, and he is going to be giving us an economic update for the state of Texas, but also nationally. We want to start nationally and see what's going on with the real estate housing market across the United States. It's hard to know. It's hard when you're looking to buy or sell, looking at the national view, because every little region and every area is so different, especially Houston is so different. But I think it's good for us to have the whole picture of what's going on, especially in light of all of the recent changes we've had politically. So welcome to the show.
Well, thank you, Shannon. Good to be here again.
So I talked to our representative, Kevin Brady, a couple weeks ago, and he was saying that being in Washington, D.C. right now is so exciting. He said there's just so much excitement going on.
It's got to be different. It's got to be different. I've been telling anybody who asks and who listens, and we're trying to figure out what's happening and what's going to happen and how it's going to come down. And right now we're at sort of a very unique time in history. I mean, we always go through this every time there's an election and a change in administration, particularly. But this time around seems to be a far more dramatic change than what we've experienced heretofore.
Right. And
quite frankly, I've been characterizing the period of time we're in right now. And it started November 9th. And it's still going on, and it'll probably still go on for another month or two or so, and then it'll start changing. But right now, we're in a period of very rapidly rising optimism, awaiting reality.
And we're not sure when those are going to intersect.
Not sure exactly when they're all going to intersect and how it's going to happen, but the atmosphere, particularly Main Street business, the average business person around, even the big businesses too, even major corporations, but particularly the Main Street business, they're so much more optimistic or anticipating good things than they have been in the last several years, really.
Right.
National Federation of Independent Businesses put out an optimism index where they survey business owners and so forth, and there's 5 or 6 or 7 different categories, but the composite index just shot up during the month of December in particularly. Consumer confidence index has just shot up in the last month or so. All of the indexes and all of the measures, employment came out yesterday or today, about 227,000 jobs in the month. You know, it's those kinds of things that are people are optimistic that there's going to be change and positive change. Some of it is undoing some of the stuff that they've been concerned about in the past. You're reading about it every day.
Right.
The Obamacare, the Dodd-Frank Act, various and sundry regulatory issues, Department of Labor, Department of Justice, all the immigration stuff that's going on. The anticipation right now and the expectations right now is that it's all going to be for the good and it's all going to be positive. Have a pro-business administration, going to change tax laws, import laws, export laws, really reduce regulatory oversight. We've got an administration that, at least from the Texans' point of view, appears to be far more energy, more pro-oil and gas. The Keystone and the Dakota pipelines probably get approval and go forward. EPA regulations held back. All of these things, very difficult to go down the laundry list of all of the potential things. And actually, it raises the issue that our expectations are going to go beyond the appetite.
Yeah.
It's like getting ready for Thanksgiving dinner, and you're getting ready, and you got this anticipation of this great meal, and you always wind up. And even if the meal is great, you wind up eating too much.
Right. Yeah.
So we'll have to await reality to see what really happens and changes. But right now, and as you and I have discussed before on this show, what's happening in the general economy and what happens in the housing market in particular is a behavioral market. and it's how people perceive things and how they're thinking of things. And right now, it's all positive.
Yeah, people who've been putting things off, for the last 2 years are moving now. So,
exactly.
I know home sales in Houston were way up in November and December. Are you seeing that across the country?
Yep. Yeah, we saw it across the country. We saw it across the state. The state was up. All of the major markets posted gains. I'll get to the Houston market in just a minute because it's very good news, actually.
Yeah. What do you think is going to happen with oil prices now? Where are we headed with that? I know the stock market's better. Are the oil prices going to keep getting better?
Well, we're talking about the optimism. We've had the Trump bump in the stock market. Mm-hmm. The Dow Jones goes over 20. The S&P goes over 2,500. And now it's beginning to kind of level off. And so that knee-jerk reaction that brought everything up is now kind of leveling out. And fundamentals will eventually take over and overwhelm just the sheer attitude. But the housing market, how long this is going to last, I don't know. But yeah, everything went up in November, December. Home construction still is lagging behind. Well, even though it's good, but it's not where it needs to be, is I guess what I'm trying to say.
And interest rates are going up slowly, but I don't think it's not enough to really impact or prohibit buyers from buying. I think it's going up so slowly that it's not really impacting anything at this point.
Well, we saw a big jump very quickly in the month of November. And in fact, let me point out to our listeners, interest rates started going up before the Fed raised interest rates in December. The rates started going up. I've got a chart. We don't have visual aids here, but the rate started going up November 9th, the next day. Yeah. And within 20 days, the 30-year fixed rate mortgage jumped up almost 67 basis points, jumped way up. In the last week or two, it's actually kind of come back down again. What we think is, and then of course the Fed rate did a 25 basis point increase in late December. That didn't seem to have much impact. It was the market already knew it was coming, had already incorporated it, and it was okay. So what? Really, for buyers right now, probably in the course of this coming year, 2017. We're anticipating interest rates will gradually creep up a little bit. Yeah. So if you're postponing that decision, it isn't going to do you any good in terms of saving any money on the interest rate. Right. And prices are still going up as well.
Prices are still going up. They're going up across the country, right? I know they're going up in Texas, but they're going up across the country.
They are.
And that's for resale and new construction, right? Okay. I read a study that more people from China are moving to the United States than from any other country. What do you think about that?
Well, that phenomenon started a couple of years ago when the Chinese changed the currency. The U.S. government can't afford to call them a currency manipulator, but they are, and the value of the currency. But the Chinese economy has fallen off about 50% from where it was a few years ago. Wealthy Chinese are also nervous about their government and their status. Yeah. So a lot of this coming to America, and you are correct, it's not only the Chinese coming as people, but their money, their capital is coming.
They want to invest here.
They want to invest, and really what they're doing is parking their money. So price is not an object.
Yeah.
They entered the continent, if you will, in Vancouver, and affected the housing market in Vancouver tremendously. Wow. Then they went down the West Coast. They've now found Texas, and it's both for residential and non-residential. If you ask some of the commercial brokers, they'll tell you a lot of this is coming in. Some of it is in funds. Some of it's in hedge funds and other kinds of funds where they're not real sure of the originating source of the capital. But a lot of it is the foreign capital, and a lot of it Chinese.
All right, we're going to go to a quick break, and then we'll be back to talk about Texas and Houston. So Dr. Jim Gaines from Texas A&M University's Real Estate Research Center, the chief economist there, Skyping in today. If you've got a real estate question, call us at 844-788-9444. And you can always catch us online at HoustonRealEstateRadio.com, where we have all the videos in case you missed any of it. We'll be right back.
RREA Media has an exciting new product available to companies and organizations who are teaching classes and want to offer those classes online. Introducing Easy Distance Learning. Easy Distance Learning is a video-based distance learning system that allows companies and organizations to leverage their existing classroom content into a broader reach and increased revenues. Did you know that the rate of growth of distance learning is 10 times that of classroom education? And 66% of chief academic officers think distance learning is critical to their long-term strategy. Right now, 33% of higher education students are taking at least one online class. Companies and organizations not offering a distance alternative to in-class instruction risk being left behind. Video-based distance learning has three basic components: classroom capture, post-production, and content distribution. Easy Distance Learning is a comprehensive and modular system that covers all three components that can help your organization with what you are missing in offering a quality and convenient online learning experience. You choose the parts you need help with. Easy Distance Learning offers another revenue stream, a broader reach of your existing content, and a professional presentation with a great learner experience. Contact us today for a free estimate and see how Easy Distance Learning can take your company or organization to the next level.